Okie dokie, artichokey. Okie dokie, artichoke. You're gonna have to move, little boy. It's time to do art. Yes, it is. Fun with doodles. You're the first one here, I think. Hold on, I'll check. Indeed. You are the first one here. We're gonna have fun with doodles. Hi, sweetheart. You're gonna have to move, little boy. Hello, Lisa. How are you this evening? No, how are you this morning? I goofed up there. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. All right. Oh, it's already time for the show. I didn't even finish setting up here. Wait a minute. It is not finish it February. It is. Let's pick a fun color. What fun color could we have, Malik? I don't have very many colors. Here we go. Wine with me Wednesday. Change the color. How about yellow, orange, red, purple, green, blue? How about black on black? That's a little tricky to read. Gray on black, lighter gray on black, white on black. Turn it off. There we go. All right, I've had all the fun I'm gonna have with that. Why not? Not doodling today. Oh, what? You're supposed to doodle. It's required. Okay, maybe not required. I might be exaggerating. Oh. Leslie, I posted some pictures on Facebook today, and somebody named Linda said that they are adorable. Just thought I'd let you know. All right, I'm trying to get I'm trying to get myself situated. I'm glad Malik moved before I had to kick him out. So that problem is solved. Silly little boy. here's what I wanted. Oh, we will be missing at least one person today. That's unfortunate. All right. Well, I will wait about 30 more seconds or so, just while I grab whatever pencil I want and think about what we're going to do here. And then we will move on to starting our first of 2 flowers for the night. Here's something I brought out. You know what? I'm on the wrong screen. No wonder I can't tell what's happening. There we go. I did some tea dyeing, some packing paper, and I did that onion skin stuff on it, and it just added all kinds of cool colors in there. Some of them even all went all the way through. This is that weird packing paper that's like glued together in the middle. So now I have confetti packing paper for making junk journals with. And some plain. I didn't confetti dye them all. Just tea dyed them all. I think I should have confetti dyed them all though, because tea dyeing craft paper really doesn't change it much. So I probably should have. I probably should have. Maybe I'll go back and add the confetti bit. Hello, Kiki. How are you this evening? I have been exceedingly busy this afternoon, Kiki, so I don't know if you sent me an email yet. But if you did, we will for sure chat, and I will tell you how everything works. Okay. Okay, so I went over and peeked, and there you are. You are indeed there. And I didn't. You're fine. You are absolutely fine. But we will make up a time to chat, and I will tell you all about it and see what you think. Okay, so I am having an awfully long leg tonight. So as I'm saying these words, the tea-dyed paper has been off my desktop for a good couple minutes, and it's just showing up right now. So communication is going to be interesting. And knowing where you guys are at compared to where I'm at is going to be a challenge, but we'll do our best in any case. Okay, tonight's very first flower is a version. I'm going to just draw something quick. Remember the flower where we start on the edge of something and do a halo and then lines out and then connect those lines? Like, this probably looks familiar. So it's a version of kind of like this. So you'll be a little bit familiar with how this works, and the way to connect your petals and the tops of your petals have all those same options. So when you're learning this flower, remember that whatever options you like are completely open to you. So this one starts with any kind of stem, meaning you can go curvy or super curvy or super straight, doesn't matter. And then at the top of your stem, you're gonna do a little flag off to one side. Doesn't matter which side it goes to. It can go to any side. Then you're going to start at the new edge of that flag and join the flag up with the stem in a long curve or a long point. And I did a very bad job of that. You will do much better than I just did, I swear. I promise. And I broke my pencil. You're going to end up with something that looks kind of like that. If you did a super curvy one, remember to turn your paper, not your hands, if it gets awkward. But there's what it looks like on a super curvy. And there, whoops, there's what it looks like on a straight. Okay. Next thing you're gonna do is a leaf off to one side. And you're just gonna jump off wherever you want to on the branch and take it up and pointy and come back down and make it pointy at the bottom too. Jump off wherever you like. Oh goodness, or at that line right back to the beginning and make a bottom pointy too. Like so. Again, which side you do it on doesn't matter. Which direction you do it on doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter how many you do. So I could go crazy. Things are getting a little ridiculous on this one. You might not want to do that, but you know, to illustrate a point, I'm just saying. You got leaf options. It might be good to decide your leaf options later as well. You might decide what actually looks good with your particular flower. Okay, the next step to this particular flower is to draw a teardrop shape around this stem thing. So here's what I mean. We're going to go back on the stem at the bottom of this beginning of the V part. Come off the line a little bit. Make a circle around the top and then teardrop shape back to the stem. Like so. For the one that's hanging upside down, it's going to be easier to turn your paper again. I made that one very bulbous. That is not required. This one's kind of medium. I'll make this one a little tight fitting if you want yours to be close too. Boy, this pen is just broken. Sometimes it's easier to make the dome part first, because then you can stay a little closer to the stem. Or at least that's easier for me. And then finish it by putting the connectors on. Connecting bit. Wow, I'm having trouble today. Okay. Well, hello, Darcy. Nice to see ya. How you doing this evening? Okay, I'm going to start all over. I'm going to come back to the page where I did the example thingy. And I'm going to start over with something bigger, because my hands are not behaving that great today. I hope this will be easier for me. So, yeah, that's actually proving easier. Big swooping lines instead of trying to do something small. Okay, so this is where we just were, and then jump off, teardrop shape around that little stem base bit. And now look, I just messed it up again. Okay, this is the way the night's gonna be, guys, because my hands are not cooperating. One of my eyes is half swollen shut. My lip is all swollen up and too big for my face. I'm not in great shape today, I'm telling ya. Okay. Now, once you get here, this is why I did the example, because from here it progresses much the same as this flower that we've done before does. In that, it's fine. It's fine. Everything is fine. Okay, so I'm going to start with where I would want my middle petal to be, and make your lines as long or short as you want. I'm going to try a really short one. I don't know what that would look like. So I'm going to try little short lines. And they should get shorter as they come around. Like so. The only thing you're going to want to do is space them fairly evenly. And think about how wide they get at the top. So if you don't want big fat petals, you're going to want to squeeze more divider lines in there, right? But this is the same as we did before. Right now it looks like a really bad case of static electricity coming off a light bulb. That's what I think. I might need to end early tonight, to be fair. If the swelling gets worse and doesn't react to medicine and I can no longer see and my hands won't function, you know, that's a thing that could happen, and then I'm no good to anybody. For now, though, just know that I'm wonkier than usual. I'm usually wonky, and I embrace the wonky. It just might look like we're on the struggle bus today. Okay, so, like I mentioned earlier, anywho, join these petals up any way you wished. So one of the ways we did was just a big sweeping curvy thing, or a U shape, or a pointy shape, my particular favorite, or a complete wiggle, or I think Patty's went down on one of her flowers. And what else could we do? We could do a tulip type shape. Okay, that's really weird. Okay, I'm gonna do this a U. I'm gonna do this the opposite. I mean, all the same ones, but the opposite order. So I'm just gonna make a flower that has all of these petals, and then a little tiny tulip type petal right there. I recommend you choose one particular petal that you like. I'm not entirely sure that this is a great idea, but it's fun. Absolutely. Yeah, that standy up bit. Definitely a sign of danger. Alrighty. The other thing you're going to decide about this flower before we put it on our tiles or pages or however you're doing this, right, is the details that you want to put in your petals. So for this one, the super wavy one, I typically add some weight to any down portion, and then those little flicks that indicate the sections of a petal. I don't know what the striations in a petal are actually called. For this one, I usually just do weighting on the bottom to make it curvy, and then I might do a line up and some dots. Right? For this one, sometimes this is a really fun one to do the flipped over kind of petal idea. So if you do that kind of jobby right there, at the end it looks like the petal is coming over and at you. And then maybe you just want to do some of the striation bits like so. And if you want to be fancy, you put some dots in there. In this case, it makes it look kind of like a face. If I just figured out that if I make this a curve, that one would also be folded over if I put a U over this. I'm not going to do that though. I'm going to do this one just the same as I do the super wavies at the top, and then do some striations like so. Maybe that. Oh, I forgot I was going to do them the same. Okay, so maybe this one is bent over more to the side. And I was going to do them the same on each side, but since I've already started with the different on each side thing, maybe I'll do this on this side. Oh my goodness, we're back to drawing butts, I see. Sorry if you're offended at my drawing. Okay. Let's see. There's like that. Oh, okay, so I have this whale tail kind of one that I haven't done yet on this side. I'll just do that. And I have a very similar tulip kind of one that I'll just do that in. Okay, there is my every kind of petal I can think of flower. Okay, that is actually the gist of the flower. The stem is a little strange. I'm not exactly sure how this stem was invented, and I do not remember the name of this flower, but this is a flower that was invented by somebody once upon a time for doodling. Or at least some version of it was, right? Once upon a time. Flower number 2. Flower number 2 comes with just as many options. And it's a weird one. So honestly, if you don't like this one, it's fine. I will give you a couple different options. Really, for this one, what's important for us in the project that we're doing is the general shape that I'm going to show you. So the general shape for this one is going to be an arch. And there's a lot of different flowers I could have chosen for this one, even some ones that we've done before, but I wanted something rather chunky right here. So let me show you the one I went for. This one starts with this big arch, just like this. And then it has a bulb at the end. And then you almost draw a circle at the end, right? But you stop before you get to the you stop before you get back to the original line. So do it like you're doing a curlicue or a circle at the end, and just stop before you get back to the stem bit. Then there's 2 ways to do this. One is to come back with your pencil a little bit. So come like a 1/4 of an inch, maybe 1/8 of an inch in on that line that you just ended on, and then aura the first line. The second way to do that, I will show you right away, is start with the same arch and curl most of the way around, stopping just before you get to your original stem. Instead of picking your pencil up, you're going to do a little U-turn. That's the only part that's different. So rather than putting your pencil back here and doing a wider, this is wider, a wider aura, you're going to do a tiny U-turn and do a really thin aura. Like so. So it does not matter which way you do this. It's personal preference. The next thing you're going to do is a bunch of overlapping or possibly just lightly touching hearts. And I'm going to try something different than what I did in my example. So you could do the smallest at the end of your flower, like so, and put a few right here, and then just, I think, okay, words and stuff. I'm going to tuck a bunch of little hearts around this end of the flower, the plant. This is more of a plant because that makes more sense to me that this is the growing end, and as it grows, the earlier ones get bigger and bigger. So now I'm just going to start doing just that. Start getting bigger. I may have increased size a little too quickly. I'm not quite sure what we're going to end up with here at the end. But make sure you turn your paper. Don't worry if your pencil lines are perfect. Remember that remember that we all can always fix them when we go in with our liner pens and such. So that is the next part. No matter if you do your stem this way or this way, it is the exact same thing. I did the smallest ones on the bottom before, and the biggest one ended up right here. So that was the first one, and as it grows from this end, so the little ones are down here. I think I like this better. But I will, you know what, let's just do this and I'll show you. So here's how it looks if you do it the other way around and get smaller as you go instead of bigger as you go. Okay, I might have gotten smaller too quickly too. How tiny can I make a heart? Pretty darn, apparently. Oh, okay. Okay. Next part. How you do your leaves, just like everything else, is completely up to you. But I line the entire back of this plant with leaves. And the way I do that is start at the base of the stem, and I follow it for a ways up until it feels like a jumping off point. And then I just jump off and curve a little. And then I come back, and I put this too close to the edge of the paper, but I think you get the idea here. But then I'm going to take the next leaf and do it the same way. Down in this point, I'm going to follow the stem until it feels like a jumping off point and just make a pointed leaf like this. What happens when I'm doing this? I don't know why it happens, but my leaves naturally get smaller and smaller as I go. I don't know if that will happen for you too, because I'm not exactly sure why it occurs at all. If it doesn't occur naturally for you and I'm just a weirdo, then pay attention to your leaf size and If you want yours to do what mine is doing and get smaller as you go, just force it. Force your leaves to behave. But there is the basis of today's second flower / plant. You are very welcome to show up anytime you wish, Sarah. And welcome to this evening's flowers. Okay, I'm going to put the leaves on the other side as well. Sarah, would you like me to go back and show you our first flower of the night? I would be more than happy to do that if you'd like a demo. I guess I'll stop right there. There's what it looks like completed in the opposite direction with the fatter stem and the hearts going the other direction. You would never turn down a demo. Well, you got it then, lady. All right. So here is tonight's first flower. Let's do another one. I'll leave this here for anybody who is working on this plant / flower number 2. And I will do a demo for Sarah right here. So Sarah, this one starts with any kind of stem you want. Straight, wiggly, curvy, anything. I'll do one with a little bit of a wave to it, because those are my favorite. After your little bit of wave, after your first stem piece, you're going to make a little bit of a flag off to one side. So just a swoopy down to the side. And then you're going to take that swoop and you're going to create a line going in to the stem. You end up with something that looks a little bit like a golf tee. Actually, if yours is perfectly straight and you make this part really long, it is a golf tee. Good evening, Francie. How are you this evening? The next part to this one is to create a long, narrow leaf. And you're just going to follow the stem a little bit until you jump off. And then you're going to create a point at that one end and then aura or follow that line right back to where it started to make a point at the other end also. Then you're going to create, I did not mean to make mine run together, but you're going to create a teardrop shape over the top of your golf tee. Look at me messing up my stem. Good grief, girl. All right, so once you have this point right here, you're going to draw some lines off of the light bulb. We mentioned earlier that if you're outside and you look similar to this, you should hurry up and get inside. You can make these curvy or wiggly. You really should make them diminish in size as they go around your light bulb. I did not do that, but I did on my other flower. Here, I'll pull it over and show you. Here's the one I made first. I showed how you can do a variety of different tops to your petals. So I don't recommend this look, although I still think it's kind of fun. But you can see how my lines got started out tall and got shorter and shorter as they came around. In this case, I didn't really do that. But what you're going to do next is choose a way that you want to join your petal tops. So you're going to start at any one line. And if you want a curvy one, just go ahead and do the curvy joining thing, right? Here, I'll pull this one over again too. There, it just shows all kinds of different tops for joining your flower. It also shows a lot of varieties for how to finish up your petals. So you might want lines going down your petals. You might not want any. Maybe you want very smooth petals. Or maybe you want lines coming up your petals. Maybe you want polka dotted petals. They're your petals. Do what you want. Good grief, I'm a weirdo. Okay, that's really all there is to this flower. The last thing that you can do, and I failed to show it to everyone, so I'm glad we went back to this actually, is that you can aura the whole flower. So then you're just going to start at the base of this little teardrop bit, and then you would just, whatever petals you did, you would just aura the whole flower. Just exactly what I said, right? And it creates this halo bit. Oops. If you don't want this, this is completely... Oh, no, that is not what I'm supposed to have there. Here we go. There we go. So if you don't want that last aura, you certainly don't have to have it. It's just a little cool extra bit if you want. I will do one more of this last plant just because I happen to know that there is somebody in the audience who doesn't necessarily care for the weirdness of this one. If you are somebody who does not care for the strangeness of this particular plant, I'm going to show you a couple ways that you can change it to be a little less, you know, unique. So, like I said, the very most important thing about this particular plant tonight is this shape. And I can't tell you why, because it's a surprise. But we want this arch. And we want it in this direction. I did it in both directions. Nope, you want it this way. You want it to curve to the left. I'm just saying. It's important. Okay, so if you didn't like that bulb at the end with the weird branch and okay, wait a minute. What did I do with the one we just made? Okay. Whatever. That was a little too easy. So if you didn't care for this weird bulb at the end and what is this and how does that plant work and what's going on, if that's just a little too out there for you, do an arch like so. Gosh darn me. And then do some little arches off of it. And this actually looks a lot like another plant that we did, but I'm gonna do something a little different here in just a second. When you get up here at the top, you can make this go up and over a little too. It's kind of cool looking. I don't know how you want to end your stem if you don't want that big bulb thing, but it doesn't really matter. You can just make, you know, a little bit of a thicker stem and just have it end. Just it comes to a point or what have you. Then here's what we're going to do. Let me fix that one. That one's ugly. I don't like it. Poor flower. I just called it ugly. That wasn't very nice of me. It's not ugly. It has a less than traditional appearance. Okay, so for this one, still with the hearts, make a heart on each little arch. I think most of you are going to recognize this plant. So then you go out and make a circle, and out and make a circle, and then make a teardrop at the bottom of the heart. Start at the point of the heart, top point, and arch out and make a circle. Arch out and make a circle. So you're kind of auraing the top of the heart, right? Aura the top of the heart, make a circle at the end of it. Aura the top of the heart and make a circle. Either that or it's a heart with a really cool curly hairdo. And then the teardrop at the bottom. There we go. Maybe you didn't like this arch of leaves either, so you could certainly, you know, just do any kind of plant leaf. And you wouldn't have to do them, you don't have to do them all the way up the branch either, right? You could just do, maybe it just has these two at the bottom. Maybe that's all there is. Or maybe it has another little one right here. Okay, that's my alternative anyway. If you don't care for that, give that a shot and see what you think of it. I have been doing okay, Miss Francie. Before you got here, I was sharing that tonight is actually a pretty rough night in the health department. I'm on shaky ground this evening, peeps. All right. Other than that, though, so far, Finish It February has been going lovely. I have finished a few projects already. I'm very happy about that. Okay, so let's pull out tiles, and I'll show you what how we're gonna get these on our tiles. We're going to work tonight on tiles 4 and 5. Ooh, we're branching out in the world. So if you have your tiles ready, pull those out. If you don't have tiles, you're just doing these on papers, you can just do it all on one page, or you can do 2 separate pages, or, you know, anything you like. You may notice that this evening I have a whole new garden. You may also notice from time to time I have very helpful kitties. They helped themselves to my desk and knocked some stuff up up over and ripped some stuff up, and my garden did not survive the adventure of my kitties. So I made a new one. So this is my new garden. And there's my 1 through 3. And tonight we're going to work on 4 and 5. And my bird ended up rather much bigger than last time. So I had to pull out tile 4 anyway to finish his tail, because he's a boisterous bird. In any case, there is my tile 4, and here is my tile 5. This flower, however you decide you wish to make it, is going to go somewhere and in some number on tile 4. And this flower, if you want to make it in this direction, right? I am not the boss of your garden. You do whatever you want. So say you wanted to make it across this way. That's also perfectly fine. I want mine to go to the left. So I'm going to put this flower right about here and have it curve up and over like that. Maybe even really far like that. I don't know. That would be kind of cool. I might make it really long. Who knows? But space out the 2 different flowers that we did today somewhere here and here or here, leaving an open space in here. That's really what you'll want, is a open oval in here. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. You can go ahead and finish up your vines. If you put grapes in, you can finish those up. I have not colored in this end of my vines, and I haven't put leaves in across the whole thing, so I'm also going to be doing that. And here's the thing. Here's the thing. Guys, guess what? Here's the thing. Next week, we're going to be doing a lot of really fun stuff to the whole first half of our garden. So, if you want to follow along and do the garden, this would be the time for you to go backward and watch the other videos, or just ask me to help you. I can help you out, during the week too. I'm just here. So, this would be a good time to get caught up in whatever way that you wish to. And if you can be here next week, that would be kind of amazing, because next week we're going to have a bunch of fun doing some things. All right, so I'm going to pull out my vine pen, and I'm going to use a pencil to put in some flowers that we just learned today. I think, I think I will do, wow, that's a little too wonky. Come on, lady. Oh, I think I will do one here. One there. You know what I might do? I don't know if I've done this before, but I'm going to do these 2 right where I'm showing you, but I think I'm going to try to do, like, if they were far away, I'm going to move up here a little bit, and I think I'm going to do a patch of 3 little ones like that. Whoa, how daring. All right, I think I'll do that. We'll see how that works. And then the heart type flower. And I thought maybe it would arch all the way over and across, but I don't know. That's awfully big. Let's see how far this arch goes. Oh, yeah, it sure could. I don't know. Okay, I'm going to line this up. I think I'll do it like that. Then it doesn't cross over too much, but it does a little bit. And then I'll do the little bit fatter stem because a plant this long is going to need a fat stem. There we go. Okay. I mean, a plant this long and skinny could probably use some support beams. I'm just saying. All right, so I kind of generally have things in place for where I want them. I'm not worried too terribly much because once I start using my pen, I can make small adjustments, right? But I think I will go ahead and get these drawn in. At least the big pieces. I think I want this one a speck taller. Something like that. So this one's going to go right up into the vine at the top. It's going to go right into the birdie feathers. That'll be interesting. I'm going to assume that this little one is in front of this one because it looks like they're going to overlap too. So I'm going to go ahead and well, I don't know what I'm doing here. Okay, I'm not exactly sure what I was thinking here. This is an odd way to do this plant, but I'm going to go with it and see what I end up with. Looks like I should come in closer. Sorry about that, guys. You are entirely welcome to say pull in closer if you feel like you need me to. So if I ever do that again, yell at me. Yell at me, peeps. Okay, so I think for this one I'm going to do a middle petal. And then 3 more petals. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 more. Oh my, this is a very ambitious flower right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have a lot of bad hairdos going on here. Okay. All right, now for the little tiny ones. Whoops. Whoops. Okay, come on. I mean, I don't care if the flowers have some personality, but no bouffants. All right, now that one kind of has a bouffant. All right, whatever. I guess I'll just go with it. We got bouffant hairdos going on my flowers. How about you guys? What kind of hairdos do your flowers have? Center, 1, 2, 3. Center, 1, 2, 3. Bouffant. I'm just going all wonky with that one since it's wonky on its own. Now the real question for myself is, do I want my vine in front of my flower or my flower in front of my vine? I think my flower has to be in front of my vine. It has to be in front of my vine, but behind the birdie tail. Or maybe the birdie tail and the flower are intertwined. Maybe that birdie tail is getting all over the place in the garden. So I'm going to do really fluffy flowers. All of this of the biggest flower ended up behind this little flower that's way in front. So all I got to do is that. Not sure how I'm going to continue in there. You're going to be able to see bits of flower behind the birdie tail, but I'm not sure what. So I'm just going to put those pencil marks in. And then I got to decide who's in front on this one. I really think it's this middle guy. Wow. Okay, when I go to draw this in, this is going to be really hard to see. I am making a giant mess for myself. I'm assuming that it'll all end up just fine. Who really knows though? You know? Okay, so that's all I need to do for that one. For this next one, all I really need to do right ahead of time for this one is the leaves. Because if the leaves run into the leaves for the vine, I want to know that so I can decide who's in front and who's in back. Just like that one right there. And I want that one taller. So that one definitely runs into the vine, and others might be close enough as well. Oh, I need my other card. Oh, so you know what? Casey mentioned last week that would it be easier to tape these together? And I said, yeah, we are going to, because we're going to make a book, or at least some of us are, right? But I don't know if you already thought about it on your own, but I didn't think about it till later. I should have said the reason we don't have these taped together right from the get-go is because it really is easier to work on one square at a time. So being able to take one square and rotate it any way you need it to get all these curvy bits and stuff, It just makes it easier than if you had them all taped together. It would be a terribly unruly and uncomfortable thing. So, I mean, that's the real answer to what he asked. So in case you are wondering, that's the real answer. Okay, so I have my general pieces in place of the 2 plants that we learned tonight. I'm going to decide on some colors. So this is my color for my vines. I'm going to leave that for just the vines. And then I have 3, because I'm a spoiled brat. Oh, wait a minute. 4. I actually have 4 other greens for the other 2 plants, leaves and branches and such. Although some of them really look a lot the same. I don't know if I want the glossy pen. I really like this one. It's my favorite because I just love the mossy green. I think I'm going to use that for this next plant. So I'm going to put tile 5 aside a bit. And when I color this plant, I make this odd stem bit green. And I obviously, shouldn't say obviously, but I make my leaf green. You make your leaves whatever color you like leaves. But I think it also could make sense to make this light bulb shape around this crazy stem also green. But I usually make mine whatever color I would make the center of the flower or the same as the flower. So I'm not sure which I'll do right now. But for right now, I'm just going to go ahead and put this bit in. Fixing any lines that are not particularly pleasing to me. Going nice and slow so I can get the shapes that I do like just a little bit nicer. And then I really am going to have to decide color. Okay. I also have to make some close calls on who's in front and who's in back now, because this flower and this flower are attached, and this one's in front of this one and overlaps it, and it even overlaps this middle leaf bit. So I'm going to go up to here. And I'm just going to not fill in that little tiny bit right there because that's where one of the petals goes over. Wow, and I made a great big leaf on this one where they had all skinny leaves. This one's got a great big fat leaf. I told you this one was wonky. This is everybody's out of control cousin. Okay. I think that's it. I think I have to decide on a color scheme, really. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. So I have this weird color pen. Let's see what color this really is. Sort of a pink red. I am for sure gonna do my hearts in red though. Well, pretty sure anyway. Oh, look how dark this red is though. I could totally do that. And then I have another red. My question really is this too much stuff all the same color at this end? But watch. So I think it would help to have all of this out. Not you. Okay, there's my birds. There's my last flower. I'm going to pull the camera back out again. Okay, maybe I got carried away. But if there is my last bit, there's my birdies. There's the beginning, and there's the number 2. I already have pink, blue, purple, orange, red, yellow, and green. Now what? If I'm going to put red down here in the hearts, kind of wondering what to do with this puppy. Any thoughts? Any ideas? I could go with a different pink. That's still too much red at one end though, isn't it? I do have this bright fuchsia color. Well, then the end of my garden clashes with itself. Oh, you know what? I do have some other colors here. I wonder if maybe this blue is different enough. I think that is. Maybe I should do this next flower in this sky blue kind of color. Okay, let's see if you guys said anything. You did not. Okay, I'm going with my own ideas then. Thanks anyway. Periwinkle, a blue. Well, you win. I don't have periwinkle, which is very sad because you know what? Periwinkle is an amazing color. I do have this cyan, but I think this is too close to evergreen to be a flower, at least to me. And I have this other purple blue, but it's nearly black. It's really almost hard to tell it's not black. So I think what I'm going to do, I got me a plan, I think. Let's pull back in so we can see what happens. So here's my plan. I am going to take this black purple blue and do this center bit with it. And go down the stem up quite a bit. apparently. That wasn't part of the plan, but it is now. Oh, that was a mistake. Oh. Oh well, I'll fix it later. I can fix it. Here, let me see if I can actually fix it now. If I can get this white jelly roll or my other white pen, yeah, I think I'll just do this a couple of times and it'll be gone enough. Okay. So I don't know if you noticed, but I made a mistake there in where I drew the blue line, and now I have covered it with white, right? And it's not all the way covered, but it will eventually be covered. Me too. We are very out of focus though, aren't we? Let me see what the heck is going on. There we go. Have we been out of focus all night, or is that just because I moved my camera so much? Okay. Then, once I have the flower center, I will do the petals in this bright blue. Like so. Now once this is covered over in the white to cover up my mistake a couple of times, and I shade in this flower and put in my details, whatever ones I decide on, it'll be fine. Absolutely will not be a problem. That I made that mistake. Okay, and then I decided my big flower is in front of the vine, so I'll go ahead and put those in. The little ones are going to be kind of tricky because these jelly roll pens are kind of fat. So they will be interesting to what? They will be interesting to get into those tiny bits. How much do you see through birdie feathers? A bit, right? Just make it up as I go. There we go. Good enough. Okay, now I'm going to try to get into those itty bitty flowers. Oh, you know what I just realized? I had them run off the page, but they would actually go back onto the previous page a little bit. I think I will do this one flower at a time. Otherwise, I'm going to lose track of which one I'm working on and which one is on top. So I'll put the light bulby bit and then I'll figure out what I'm going to do about the petals. That one was easy. Yeah, I'm glad I did this one petal at a time because this is really hard to see. Okay, that looks good though, right? That is at least close to what I intended all along. Okay, now I will do the one that tucks behind on the birdie side. This one goes behind the feathers. Okay. Okay, not terrible. I'm assuming, oh, I'm way off I'm off the screen. Oh. Sorry. Hi, Kim. Yep, you definitely should have yelled louder. I'm sorry. Okay, so, I'm being relatively successful at getting these tiny flowers where they need to be. And you are not able to see my wonderful successes because I am a doughhead. There we go. I'm assuming that these, just like every other time, will look much better once all the cheat lines are erased. So I'm not stressing that these look these look a little bit messed up, you know? They're not neat and tidy and they're a little bit wonky. If you're feeling that way too about your flowers, remember that once your cheat lines are all erased and once all of your shading and coloring is in, dramatic things change. So don't stress that kind of stuff right now. I'm going to go ahead and turn this and fill in my vine. With the super dark green color, which I wish it wasn't quite as dark as it is, because it, just like that one blue, you can hardly even tell that it's a color other than black. But I do like some dark green, so there we go. do, 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 do. Okay, good enough? Good enough. Now I'll make one of those big swoopy things off my vine. I don't even know what you call these. But there it is. It's a big swoopy thing. Okay, so now I need to be careful where this tucks behind my flower. So I think that's the only part that sticks out right there. And then I don't think it shows again till way over here. Am I on camera? I'm off camera again. Maybe I need to pull my camera out because I can't comprehend the idea of being so close. Good grief, girl. And then this is, let me check something. So yeah, this is a piece of vine and it's not in the way of any flower. So I'm gonna go ahead and commit to this piece of the vine. Oh, good grief. Turn your paper, not your hand. How often do I have to not listen to my own advice before I understand I should listen to my own advice? Tad ridiculous, I'm telling ya. Goodness sake, that one got way fatter than I want it to be. I will worry about adjustments later. You can't really make a vine skinnier if you made it fat by accident. Unless you do the whiteout thingy, right? Which is totally doable. But way out in the open like that, it might not look that great. So, the thing that I can do, if I so choose, is to thicken up all the lines. Boy, that would take forever and sounds tedious, and I don't wanna. Or add another branch of some type. And just to give a bit more of a teaser about next week, that actually might be something that we address next week. In a way. Ooh, shoot. And I did it again. Ow, ow, ow. Okay, hang on a minute, peeps. I need a second. Okay, where'd it go? Lisa, thanks for yelling, but seriously, you're too far away to yell. I don't see how you could possibly yell loud enough. Yeah. All right. Oh, good grief. Oh, yuck. This nasal spray is disgusting. Ugh. Yuck. Poo, man. Okay. Okay. All right, I'm gonna finish putting in green vine. And I'm gonna try to remember that I am zoomed far in so you can see what I'm doing, but you can't see what I'm doing if I'm off screen. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. I have apparently lost my ability to speak. We'll just give the meds a few minutes to work. I apologize. It's just the way it is, man. It's just the way it is. Excuse me, mister. Can I help you? Reverend, what is your deal here? No, do not throw my pens on the floor. Reverend, you need to move, honey. Hold on a second. I don't know if, he's a very big boy. I cannot move him if the camera is in place. Oh, good grief, are you heavy? You're such a big kitty. I need you to not be on my desk, honey. Thank you. All right. All right. Let's figure stuff out. We are drawing cats again. We're always drawing cats, aren't we? That'll be the big criticism in my big Times Square review. Or, you know, whatever. In my show debut review. It's just cats. It's just always cats. It's already been done, Bucket Lady. Cats has been done. Okay. All right, good enough. Good enough. I'm going to get the next plant in place. This guy right here. Time to get it in position. He probably does want me to rest. He does not like it when I can't breathe properly. And now he's like under my chair. That one is my kitty guard, man. My kitty guard. Okay, so I need another new green for this last plant. I can use this one or this one. Let's pull this over and see what I want. Fairly bright and also fairly bright, but already been done. So I think I'm going to go ahead and use this one, at least for the stem bit. I could always switch it up for the leaves. But at least for now, I'm going to get the stem in place with this. Okay, there we go. There we go. And this one goes straight over to the other card. So I'm going to line that up. My. Okay, well, now I'm getting inventive because I made a mark I didn't intend to, so I'm just going to go with it and make a little ball in the middle of mine. Why not? I actually kind of like the way that looks. You miss having a cat walk across your desk? I have a few I could loan you. I mean, you could have your pick of... Well, probably all but Suni. She's the only one I think would not travel well. She's usually my absolute shadow, except she's really mad at me today because she does not like when it's flea medicine day. And it was flea medicine day. And I had to get a little forceful with her because she is no dummy. And as soon as she saw me doing flea medicine on her brothers, she ran for the hills. And when I finally cornered her, man, she was doing her best to have none of it. And the funny thing is, it's just the tube kind, right, that you squeeze on their skin between their shoulder blades. It's not a big deal, and it takes a half a second. You'd think I was straight up torturing the poor girl. So she's mad at me and she's sleeping in a different room today because I have insulted her, I don't know, dignity, or I don't know. I don't know what she thinks, but she thinks I've done her irreparable harm. All right, I guess I'll go ahead and do my leaves the same color. I'm going to color in these little bits that get left behind too. So there are little tiny triangles that can be kind of left behind when you put leaves in like this, and I will just go ahead and fill that right in. Like so. Okay, I need my squares to line up again. I've got them kind of wonky up here. I will fix that later. I might have already said that. Things went a little bit rough right there. Okay. Last two. Nope. I decided I want another one. A little baby one right there. There we go. All right. You know what I'm going to do now? I'm going to put the hearts in place. I hope I get away with this the same way I did here, because I started little and I got bigger and I decided I'm going to do it that way again. But look how perfect this ended up. I just sort of randomly threw these in and then went down the branch, and it ended up kind of perfect at the end. I don't know how lucky I'll get this time around, but I am going to just line this up one more time, because I'm going to start with the smallest heart, and the smallest heart is going to kind of overlap. So, I mean, not even kind of, it's like the center of the heart is kind of right there. Like so. Then I can let that go and then continue. I do to turn the corner? Oh, I just tucked one in, just like I was just gonna. A little bit of a weirdo right there. Okay, I'm going to call that good enough. I'm going to stop right there. Now, I have to choose my red. I have to choose my red, and I think I'm going to go with the super dark red as my outline color, because my inside and shading colors will be lighter. Once I get my hearts in place, I think it's time for me to erase. I will be so happy to see how this looks. Once all the cheat lines are gone, okay, they're not cheat lines. Once all the guides are gone, there, that's a much nicer word, isn't it? For this plant, I need to make a choice. And I'm just thinking about it now. I don't know which way I'm going to go, but all these little extra V's that are white between the hearts can now be colored in red or colored in green or left as open spaces. Or, I mean, really, you can do anything you want. Put a pattern in there, put some patches in there, put a completely different color in there. I'm just saying, those are the choices I'm thinking of. Leave them, color them, and if color them, what color? And what do I want to do for the insides of these heart flowers? Do I want to just shade it? Do I want to put a pattern in there? I don't really know. I know that my first iteration of this garden for this project for us has a rather formal filling on this flower plant. And we don't need to be going all formal. It just doesn't fit, you know? So I think I'm going to try to think of a filling but something more fun, more whimsy. Unless I put a bow tie on my big birdie. Yeah, I'll dress him up in a formal attire. Okay. All right, I'm going to erase my guides. I'm excited. I wonder how this is going to look once I get all of the extra scribbles out of it and stuff, right? All right. All right, here goes. Let's see what we end up with. What song is that? I don't know what that is. Well, apparently it's my intermission tune. I hope it's not inappropriate. I don't think it is. That would be pretty funny though. Okay. I am going to find my white pen and put another layer on that mistake line. Okay, getting better. I'll put another layer on there in a bit. I see a couple of places where I want to fix my green lines on my vine. Right here especially, it's looking pretty darn raggedy. Whoops, and then I go and make it even more raggedy. Silly girl. That was quite self-defeating. Okay. Also, this new iteration of my garden does not have the berries in. Last time I decided that my birds eat berries that grow on this vine, and I have not put that back in yet. And I intend to, because birds need food. Now look what I've done. Another great big honkin' mess. Good grief. Okay. Messes are getting under control. And there are our two flowers for tonight. They need some details. Oh, I didn't erase this one yet. Sorry. Only half my erasing is done. Am I alone, or do you guys also find it satisfying once the erasing is done? It's like a big reveal. Revan, you are such a... No, you're not going to lay down here, honey. Okay, well, maybe you are. It is the doodle song. Hi, Casey. No, I was not making it up. Wait a minute. Okay, I didn't know Dawn was here. I didn't know Jen was here. Okay. Hello, goodbye, Jen. Yes, I did get my package, Jen. It's, oh my gosh, it's beautiful and it's sorted and it's sitting right next to me on a rack ready to be put in artwork. Okay, listen, buddy. I'm just going to move my camera over because I have a certain boy kitty who is being kind of stubborn this evening. So we're just going to move our art over here. Okay, here's the other problem. He's laying on all my pens. Excuse me, Mr. Kitty. Excuse me, mister. Alright, let's start adding some details in here. So, what do we need to do first? I don't know if I'm going to like this or not, but once I start, I'm going to keep it. So I'm going to add that little teardrop effect at the bottom of the heart, like I did in the sample, and I'm just going to do it on all of them, because I didn't do it with the guides. I did it in marker right off the bat. Oh, you know what song that is? I think, isn't that Yankee Doodle? Everybody pet the kitty. Ah, Ravi Poo. He's such a handsome boy, that Ravi Poo. Alright, now that I have made a commitment to the bright red, now I need to make some other commitment to the bright red so this doesn't look ridiculous. I think I'm going to put dots down the middle of all my hearts. There we go. What else? Well, nothing, I guess. I'll have to do the shading. So I'll leave that, I think. What I will do, though, is if I can find it under my cat. Listen, buddy, you're kind of chunky. I'm gonna find one of my darker greens. No, do not eat my pens. No, do not eat my pens. No. No. You're not allowed to eat them. No. You're not allowed to eat that one either. You can't eat that one either. I said no. He's trying to eat my pens, guys. No. They're mine. I have a bit of a problem. Regan, I moved the camera so you... Whatever. I moved the camera so you could lay where you wanted, Tubby. Move over. Move your toes. Move your toes. Okay. Fine. Okay, I bugged him enough and he left. Sorry, guys. Sorry. He's such a brat. Hi, sweetheart. Yeah, I called you a brat. Trying to steal my pens. What a little twerpy butt. What am I gonna do inside here? I think I'm gonna fill these flower tops with little tiny circles, which will get ridiculous on those tiny flowers. So I'm not gonna do that tonight, but I am gonna do it to some degree or another. I will fill this little pod bit with tiny circles and fill in with this super dark purple, blue, black thing. Like so. And what else? Oh, I was gonna find a really dark green. That's right. I think we'll take... Which one? I think this one. And I'm gonna fill in between the hearts. Like so. Just all the little triangles, right? This isn't the dark green though. This is the bright green, but yeah, whatever. There, I'll do that. I'll make the centers of the leaves the bright green too. Okay. I think I'll do a little bit of a curve right here because then it looks like the stem is holding onto the flowers, right? Color that whole thing in right there. this little speck right there. There we go. Oh. Ow. Ow. I see a place where I am not particularly happy with my vine business. Still, I mean, this is where I had to stop for meds, isn't it? Because I think this is like the third time I've gone back to this and thought, what the heck is going wrong here? Okay, he didn't actually steal any markers. So where is the dark green? Is it this one? Is it this really dark teal? Oh, it is. I think this is the green I've been using. I didn't recognize it. Okay, there we go. Wow, what? Oh my gosh. He is a stinker, absolutely. And they are bleeding heart-esque. Although I gave an alternative version of that flower that is even more bleeding heart-ish. See? See? Excellent, Casey. I also like the phobia knowledge. That's kind of awesome. I don't know that I'm happy with that. I'm going to just not do that again. Okay, so I want a little bit of detail in the blue flowers. Oh, wait. Okay, wrong marker. Pay attention to what you're doing, lady. I'm going to add the tiny circles to this one. And then I'll add some detail bits. Okay, we'll do that. I'll save the little ones for later because I think I'm going to have to get really close to those to see what I'm doing. But I think I'll add some detail bits to this. So I think I'm just going to do this. Like so. haven't been watching the clock. Is it getting late? I have a feeling we're supposed to be done-ish, and I just keep on a-going. It seems about right for a day where I thought I might have to quit early, that I would run late instead. That sounds like me. Very stubborn, brattish. Oh, kind of made a mess of that one. This one looks like a mitten. That flower petal must be from Michigan. Okay, must be getting tired because that's a pretty lame joke, lady. Oh, it's 2:40 p.m. Casey, don't look at close-ups of pores. I mean, that's gross to begin with, but if you got an issue with it, it's just a nightmare waiting to happen. And yeah, we did go overtime. Of course I did. Completely spacing off the time. All right, well, so I do have a bunch of special stuff planned for next week. So if you can get caught up, cool. But if you can't, it really won't matter that much because you can always go back and do the things on your own, right? But just know that there's a bunch of fun stuff in the wings for next week. And it's going to make all of the stuff that we've done so far really come together nicely. So I'm not gonna sign off for the night until Leslie has said goodnight to everyone. So Leslie, we're late. Start typing if you're still there. I mean, you might even be sleeping for all I know. Maybe not. Okay, so I'm gonna put this all the way out. I didn't get to the shading part, so shame on me. I should have got to the shading. I might have tried to cram too much into a night where I wasn't feeling great, right? But I will put some detail lines in these flowers. I will put some shading in. If you're not entirely sure how to do shading, don't worry about it. Just leave it alone. And I will show you what I did and how to do it next week, along with the other stuff that's planned. Okay? So don't overstress anything that we didn't get to tonight. If you are not done and are unsure how to finish. If you want to finish on your own, though, goodness sakes, just go right ahead. Indeed, health permitting, right? Oh, Leslie typed in. I will take this time to say goodnight to all. So much fun. Indeed, it has been a very fun night. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. I hope your gardens are turning out fabulous. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to contact me at my business email address or leave a comment on this video or whatever you please. And we'll talk about how to get all caught up and how to get your garden going the way you want it to. All right, see you next week. Good night, everybody.